Hey guys, Sebastian here from Waltgrace Vintage. Welcome to our gallery. In today's video, we'll be talking about 5 different reasons as to why you should consider getting an Epiphone guitar as your first instrument. So moving on to the first reason, when you get an Epiphone guitar, you're basically buying into the whole Gibson family of instruments. And what I'm saying here is not that you're getting a Gibson guitar, but you're getting one that has a lot of the same qualities and characteristics that a Gibson has. So if you're ever planning the future on getting a Gibson or upgrading to one of those guitars, you're already going to be very familiar with, the sound, the aesthetic, the feel of the instruments. Not to mention that, a lot of your favorite artists might play a Gibson, so this is a really good way of approaching that sound without really having to buy one. There's a really good way of, again, getting started into that whole circle and family of instruments. Moving on to the next point, which is value. These guitars are not cheap, but considering the amount of features that you're getting at this price point, it's really kind of hard to beat. These are amazing guitars that, to me, have a lot of the essential things that are necessary to have a great instrument. Things such as playability, the intonation, the stability of the guitar in general, the sound, the looks, how it inspires you to pick it up and play it. And these Epiphones have that. Like, for example, this Wilshire, first of all, it plays really, really well. It sounds really good. It looks killer, and it's super light. And I'm sure that, if I were to take this on a gig, it would hold up just fine. I've been jamming for like 30 minutes now on this thing, and hasn't gotten out of tune or anything. It's just perfect the way it is. So the fact that you can have access to a guitar like this price point is really kind of hard to beat. The quality of this instrument is just way beyond its price point. Now moving on to the third point, which is the ability to upgrade a lot of these guitars. I feel like Epiphones are the perfect canvas for the guitar player that likes to just tinker with their instruments. A lot of people like to change pickups and they like to modify their guitars to make them a little bit more personable. And with guitars at this price point, you really have a lot more room to just do whatever you want with them. Like for example, let's say you buy an Epiphone / signature model and you want it to sound just like the Gibson version. All you gotta do is just put on the Seymour Duncan slash pickups and it'll sound very, very similar. It won't be the same guitar, but it'll get you very close at a price that is much, much lower. Now, if you like to get a guitar and just leave it as it is, Epiphone also offers, in a lot of its series, guitars that already come with very high-end parts and specs. Like for example, as part of the Prophecy series, this SG already comes in with Fishman Fluence pickups, which is a very high-end type of high-gain pickup. And then you also have Grover locking tuners. These are some of the most common things that people tend to change after a while. So the fact that you already have access to a guitar that comes with these specs at this price point, it's kind of hard to beat. So yeah, definitely the ability to upgrade your guitar, it's one of the reasons why I will get an Epiphone. Now getting into the fourth point of this video, which is playability. I think playability is one of the most important things on any guitar, especially when you're learning and you're an up-and-coming guitarist. Having a guitar that doesn't play well is just terrible. I've seen it countless of times, going to a friend's house or a student's house and they have one of these classical guitars loaded with steel strings and the action is like so high you can shoot arrows with it. It's just terrible. And it's been my experience that with Epiphone guitars, most of the times they tend to play really, really well. If not from the box, at least they have the potential to get there. Like for example, this Slash Signature model has a very comfortable neck, which feels very, very similar to the Gibson model. And the action is nice and low, it's got big frets, and the strings are super elastic. And I feel like I can really play well on this guitar. It doesn't have any issues and it's just very comfortable. Most Epiphones, I think, in my opinion, play really well, or if not, they have the potential to play really well. So getting one of these guitars is definitely gonna help you in that journey of playing and learning and just growing as a musician. So before we talk about the last point here, let me tell you about this beauty right here. The amount of detail on this instrument is just incredible. It's simply jaw-dropping. Look at these inlays, knobs, the pickups, everything about it is just so Art Deco and cool. And the fact that you can find a guitar like this at this price point in the Epiphone catalog just speaks tons about the brand. I feel like Epiphone, again, is just severely underrated. They have tons of great quality instruments that a lot of people don't know about, which leads me to the next point, which is the variety that Epiphone has in their catalog. They love to experiment and release a ton of like quirky different models or like different signature guitars, and they have so many different options available. Like you saw all the guitars that we showed earlier, well, they have a ton more. So head over to walkersvintage.com if you want to see our current collection of Epiphones. But yeah, guys, I mean, I can't say really enough good things about these guitars. They're fantastic instruments. I would definitely recommend them to any beginner player or seasoned player as well. You're not gonna be disappointed. Epiphone instruments are fantastic, so check them out. Alright guys, thank you for watching the video. If you guys want to know more about us, visit walkgracevintage.com. All of these guitars are going to be listed down below in the description, so check out those links if you want to find out more about them. If you want to support the channel, give us a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and if you like this type of content, follow us on Instagram at @waltgracevintage. My name is Sebastian. Till next time.